In QuickTip 19, we're going to cover the assignments feature, how to create assignments and how to mark student-submitted work. So let me show you that. Here I am in a standard-looking Blackboard unit. We create an assessments folder and encourage you to put your assignments in here. That way students know at least where to find things. There's already an existing assignment here. I'm going to create a second one now. The way I do that is to hit the Create Assessment button at the top, and from the list provided there, choose Assignment. At this stage it asks you for a name for the assignment. It provides an area for you to put instructions to students. Now it might be that you've already got those instructions worked up, perhaps in a document, so you could simply say, as per attached, if that was appropriate. And then, of course, you could upload a file that was on your computer. I'm just going to choose any file for purpose of illustration. Okay, so I'm going to move down now. The next thing it requires is points possible. Now, in Blackboard, everything requires a numeric score, and I'd encourage you that if you're using ungraded assessments, let's say PU and NU style of marking, that you simply set the points possible out of 1, 1 being pass or PU, and 0 being fail or NU. Okay, scroll down now. There's an area which describes how many attempts you're going to allow your students. I'd encourage you to set this to at least 2, and here's why. If you want to allow for resubmission, let's say a student submits a piece of work and it's not up to par and you would like them to resubmit it, each of those counts, and so setting attempts to 2 allows for their initial submission and also 1 resubmission. I'm going to come back to this limit availability in just a second and draw your eye down to due date. Now this is of course the date that you display to students about when this assignment is due, and you'll note that you can pick dates and times here. I've just noticed that a lot of teachers like to set that to the end of day, which is really 1 minute to midnight on that day. Now you might also want to facilitate late submission. So, students who say that they've got due cause to submit their work after that initial due date. This is where you can employ, if you like, the display until option, which will permit students to continue to see this assignment up until whichever date you choose here. And what you're doing there is really factoring a bit of a time that students can continue to submit work, but it will be flagged as late. Okay, so I'm happy with those choices and I hit submit. That creates the assignment ready for view, and I'm going to pause now and come back to show you what the assignment marking process is like. Okay, so time has now passed, students have submitted work, and I now want to go in and grade their submissions. I do so by going down to the Grade Center, and under here there's this really nice option which reads Needs Grading, and if I click on that, it shows me all assignments that have been submitted by students that require grades, i.e. the work to do. And I can see that, for instance, a student has submitted assignment 2, I can see what date, etc. And by clicking on the student's name, I can look at detail for that submission. I can see that they've submitted, for instance, in this example, an attachment, so I could click on the attachment to view it. And there it is there. Returning to the browser now. Just close that little window down. Now, I can now apportion the student a mark. And some comments perhaps. I can even put some little private notes for teachers in if I want to do so, maybe for a FOSP type purpose. And once I've done that and I'm happy, I can hit submit. And what that does, well, it submits that grade to the Grade Center. I'll show you that in a moment. It now disappears from the needs grading list because you've already graded it, so that work has already been done. And I'll just quickly take you into the Full Grade Center now, and we can observe that there indeed is the grade for the student. When the student logs in next, they can click on their My Grades link to see that grade plus any feedback that you may have provided them. So there you go.